Is it clear? यहाँ तक तुम
Yes,
पहुँच
sir.
गए? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
हाँ? ठीक है ना?
Hmm.
We have been able to get the data onto SQL Server. Now, when I get the data onto SQL Server, then if I say with CT1 as select star from ODS voucher ledger, then I am able to get for JSON path. ये था ना? I get a JSON output. Correct? Yes or no, beta? This is clear?
Hmm.
For no, actually, I'm actually sick, so just 1 second, so just bear with me for a second. So this is my JSON output. Now what he says is that I want to post that JSON output onto a web server or a mobile application. Is my understanding clear?
Yes, sir.
So what I did was, I'm just going about it with step by step. I downloaded ASP.NET package. So I don't have experience with ASP.NET. So I looked at YouTube and I downloaded it. So basically I got Visual Studio 2020 package. Right. And I downloaded the ASP.NET package. Then I went to YouTube. Okay. And tried to find where is a ready-made video. Is it clear?
Yes,
So I
sir.
got some 2 videos. From there I was linked to GitHub. तो GitHub में कैसे होता है? बहुत ध्यान से सुनना है इसको. But basically I didn't know, so I'm trying to replicate it with the same code. So I think we'll get somebody to do it. But I went to YouTube because this is something which even I was scratching my head. Okay, this can't be so basic a problem, because I'm to the ETL I'm able to get it right. So I say SQL Server API, right? .NET. So I took one of these videos. So I took this. So I replicated this video and I took this. ठीक है बेटा? And from here what I did was I took out the path where it's in the GitHub, a ready-made code. Okay, so I followed this step, but it gives a GitHub path. Right, so I went to this path. ये वाला मैंने path लिया, इससे देखा GitHub से. He has shown it himself. Right? So basically, if I have an API, then I can go directly from SQL to that application. I don't need a web server. That's what I'm trying to say. So is database say I don't need a web server from here. I can go directly. So what I'm trying to do is by REST endpoint, I'm trying to go to directly to my mobile app. समझ आया कि नहीं आया? So because I'm able to get the JSON endpoint. Is it clear? So what I did was I took this link which he has given here.
And .NET Core.
Right. So he's a Microsoft certified. I went to github.microsoft.com. मैं इधर गया. So I went to https://github. और उसका गया. And from there in the कोड सेक्शन, इसमें जो ये है ना, ये सैम्पल फीचर्स, इन ऑर्डर टू डू इट यहाँ पे मैं कोड पे गया. सो आई गोट इन हियर, राइट, देन आई वेंट टू प्रोडक्ट कैटलॉग, and in the product catalog in REST API he is given the code, your SQL scripts कौन से and so forth. Is it clear? Then I went to code and then अब मैं actually निकाल नहीं पाया, I downloaded everything. Is it clear?
Yes.
And on the second one, for this one I tried to replicate it step by step. So what I did was, so then on the second one I replicated it. So I created two projects. So I have downloaded these packages and I went this. So I went to SQL Server. ठीक है ना, मैं तुम्हें ट्रिक बता रहा हूँ कि कैसे करना है इसको. SQL Server samples, SQL Server master then samples, and within the sample then click JSON. ये तुम वीडियो स्टेप बाय स्टेप फॉलो करो. So because I want that integration to be done, right? So I click JSON, and then because he's opened it up, this is freely available, right? .NET REST API, and then I got this here. Now he says there are controllers or wo sab. So this took me some time because I'm not able to understand this completely, but I've made some projects here. So I'm actually just thinking how exactly to do this. So I made a web application here, right? And in the web application I've got two controllers. One is a home controller and one is a values controller. Within the values controller ये system files I had to put up, right? ये मैंने copy किया उसकी screen से. तो मैं दूसरा एक प्रोजेक्ट था उसकी स्क्रीन से मैंने कॉपी किया. सिस्टम्स कलेक्शन जेनरिक लिंक नेट HTTP वेब, ये दो बार ही हो गया. एक .NET है, वेब है, मैं सब कुछ ही लेके आ गया. newtonsoft.json, I thought everyone I got it. Then I declared a namespace which is web applications 1.controller. So web applications 1.controllers. यहाँ तक तुम पहुँच गए. फिर मैंने कहा कि इसके नीचे आया पब्लिक क्लास वैल्यूज कंट्रोलर API कंट्रोलर. फिर उसके आया पब्लिक क्लास वैल्यूज कंट्रोलर, एंड देन दिस इज गोइंग टू बी API कंट्रोलर. आई एम गोइंग टू जनरेट एन API. Right, now this is where I was having a bit of a problem. Now where I was having a problem with that party is probably it's making a fool out of us. See, I've copied this from this. I make a SQL connection, wherein I make a SQL connection, I give this I put server as this, which is my database server. My database is this, and integrated security is equal to true. मतलब मेरा Windows authentication है. So I simply copied it. Then this is checkmark as get API value. Okay. Then what I did was I specified HTTP get. I'm going to get HTTP. Right. Trying it actually. Then I said public action result. This is my string. I'm going to do HTTP get. So public. This is a class. JSON value should come back. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And then I put in for SQL Server. I put in SQL data adapter DA is equal to new SQL select star. तो यहाँ पे filled that data table with the output of DT. Are you understanding it? So this DA filled up this data table. यहाँ तक तुम पहुँच गए?
Yes, sir.
And then actually if DT row counts, then return whatever is this SQL output from here. This should be converted into JSON and returned. That is what my logic was. So
Okay.
I mean what my whole thing was, if someone has made a mobile app, he will know how to connect it. So what I'm thinking is, should I tell him that, because because I'm not very clear on how this thing will work. If we make it an ASP.NET, then how would a Node.js application interact with this? That I don't know. I'm not clear on this. So basically I followed this video ditto. But this code is not, this code is giving me some problem somewhere. So this home controller is not to be what, this values controller is to be what. It makes perfect sense. I have made this in the logic. Then in the launch settings, I put in the schema, I just copied everything. So I'm not able to understand that where there is a problem. IS Express, this is my launch heading. Then dependencies, I brought in all, whatever they asked, I loaded it. Now but here, Janu, let me see which packages are there. So these packages, swashbuckle, this I had to find out from YouTube, which I'm trying it out. The swashbuckle, all these packages have been loaded. But the logic is this. This is what we need to implement. This I'm quite clear. That he connects to SQL Server in case there is a SQL Server connection. Correct? In case
Yes,
there is
sir.
not a SQL Server connection, then the code is here. So they have already made it. Now I'm not able to understand. So if I go here, this is something which is slightly complex for me to understand. But in a nutshell, what he's saying is that public async task get await SQL query stream. So he's doing it like this. That means it's an open connector. Here he is not specifying the database connection. He is saying I'll do an HTTP get public async task get. I'm going to awaiting the SQL query stream. Iska output. Is JSON format mein I need the output. Is it correct? Now response.body and empty products array, this I'm not very clear, but I need to just check how it is done. So he's made this code. Then this is with the parameter. This is post. So I'm going to be posting the data from the web service to the database. तो ये वाला कोड होगा. Then HTTP patch is insert and upsert. So this is what you would be using. Then put means you're going to be updating. So we will be primarily using patch. And delete is here. So this is the code with which we need to play around. Now there is some Belgrade SQL client. I have also installed it. So how to install the package is package manager console. And then you write install, right, hyphen package, and then you say Belgrade dot SQL client. And when I do this, then it should install. Install package. उसने दिया हुआ है इधर. There is something I'm not able to get in the final step. मैं बताता हूँ error कहाँ आ रहा है. ये है इसका JSON फंक्शन इसने बनाया हुआ है.
How much time did you
Microsoft
spend
वाले.
on manual
Is
busy
he
work
understanding
last
it?
year? You know, the repetitive
Yes, sir.
little tasks that you have to.
तो ये बेसिकली टेपना है. Because what I'm thinking
so that you
is,
can take
that
data
if we crack it, then why
Oh,
would we
yeah, now
use
it's-
it?
data, you can use the same indexes that you use on all other columns. Like you can create computer second as a result is product type JSON data functionalities. You know, your architecture formatted direct C# is account. I'm not
Oh,
using
yeah,
and some data access framework like Entity Framework or Dapper or
Something
or
is-
Raw SQL edu.net client. If you open any example, you will see in this pipe object that where you can just send everything to response body, and this is data from data reader or use it and see how it works.
Install hyphen package belgrade.sql.line. मैंने क्या दिया था? belgrade.sql.line. ऐसे होगा ना? ये understood. Now what he says is, now I've also run the database script based on what he asked. Right, so I've made this database script here. Product catalog. Now when I run this, I should get an API. Because if it is running, then I will simply change this code. नहीं ये वेब एप्लीकेशन है ना. एक सेकेंड. नेम स्पेस वेब एप्लीकेशन 1 डॉट कंट्रोलर्स. एक सेकेंड. Wait. Product catalog dot controllers. एक सेकंड. इसमें मैं कुछ गड़बड़ कर गया. ये गलत आएगा बिकॉज उसको कुछ मिलेगा नहीं ना. एक सेकंड. ये आ रहा है मेरा बार बार. एक सेकेंड. प्रोडक्ट कैटलॉग डॉट कंट्रोलर्स. मुझे वो डीबग करना नहीं आता. इसी का नाम होगा ना वेब एप्लीकेशन 1 डॉट कंट्रोलर्स. और इधर पब्लिक क्लास. तो इसमें एक नया कंट्रोलर डालेंगे. न्यू अलाड कंट्रोलर. राइट. प्रोडक्ट कंट्रोलर. राइट. यही तो होगा ना. अब दिस आई एम नॉट वेरी क्लियर हाउ इट वर्क्स. Then I go to product controller.cs. Control C. ये हुआ ना. So I had web application 1 here. Then I go to controllers, and then within the controllers I have this here, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I do is I build. Because I'm trying to, then what I will do is I'll replace his code with my code.
Hmm.
समझ में नहीं आ रहा है जो हो क्या रहा है. Web applications 1 is there. What is happening here? There's something wrong which is happening. कुछ final step में कुछ problem हो, या तो कुछ swaggy से कुछ problem है. But if I'm able to crack this, then my API will be done. But I'll do get, put, delete. मैं खींच लूँगा आराम से C# से. Then I'll do all the processing in the SQL server. One second. अब इसको हम क्या करते हैं, होम कंट्रोलर को खिसकाओ, राइट, लेट्स सी हाउ इट वर्क्स, एंड देन वैल्यूज कंट्रोलर को खिसकाओ. सो लेट्स कीप ओनली प्रोडक्ट कंट्रोलर. So this code should work. This post समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या झोल है इसका. But this code is what I've copied it directly. But weather forecast works directly. समझ में नहीं आ रहा कैसे है. नहीं आ रहा मेरे को, मुझसे हो नहीं रहा ये. We are close on this because there's something which is missing. Final step. ये मिस हो जाएगा तो हम लोग पोस्ट अगर कर लिया, if you're able to post and get, then we are through. We make an open API. समझ में नहीं आ रहा मेरे को क्या है. ठीक है बेटा, ओके. सो लेट्स जस्ट सी. तुम अभी उनको कांटेक्ट करो एंड यू स्टार्ट.
ठीक है.